Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here to unpack the latest insights, helping you stay sharp without, getting buried in information. Today, we are diving deep into 1 week of AI, OWO AI, covering June 9th right through to June 19th, 2025. And this deep dive is brought to you with University 365. We've got insights straight from a professor who actually co-writes this publication. Our mission for you: simple. A quick path to understanding the biggest AI news from the last 10 days or so with analysis, practical examples, basically making it all click.
Yeah, it's fascinating when you look at this OWO AI edition. The sheer pace of AI innovation just in those 10 days is incredible. We're covering, well, everything from huge industry shifts, power dynamics changing to brand new models and the wider societal impact. So the goal is really to pull out those critical insights, the stuff that goes beyond you, the headlines, and give you that context to why this actually matters.
Okay, let's jump right in then. A huge announcement really sent shockwaves. Meta's big gamble. Meta announced plans to buy a 49% stake in Scale AI. We're talking nearly $15 billion here. And Scale AI, for anyone who might not know, they're absolutely fundamental. They do data labeling, that crucial prep work for training AI models. Their client list is, well, it's everyone: OpenAI, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Meta itself. So yeah, a
Yeah.
real linchpin.
Exactly. And this isn't just a financial play, it's deeply strategic, in this whole AI arms race. Alexander Wang, Scale AI's founder and CEO, he's not just selling a stake, he's actually joining Meta to lead a new superintelligence lab.
No.
Wait, it's not subtle, is it? It clearly signals Meta's ambition. They're aiming way beyond current AI, aiming for artificial superintelligence, ASI.
Right.
This whole battle for data control, like we're seeing here, it really makes you ask where the real power in AI is going to end up. It sort of mirrors the Microsoft OpenAI relationship, but maybe even bigger, more impactful. It just underlines how controlling that data infrastructure is key to AI supremacy.
And the fallout was immediate, wasn't it? Hours after Meta's news, Google apparently paused projects with Scale AI, and not just Google. Reports say Scale AI is losing other big clients too, like OpenAI and xAI. We even saw a smaller investor pull out, basically saying Meta's cash probably won't cover losing those massive tech partners. So, I mean, if Scale AI loses Google and OpenAI, does that just push them fully into Meta's camp? Or can they find other ways to diversify?
That's the critical question now, isn't it? How do they maintain any kind of neutrality when they're so, well, tied to one major player? This kind of deal can totally reshape the competitive landscape. Everyone's fighting for control over the data that actually fuels AI. It raises that fascinating issue. Can a vital picks and shovels company really stay independent when its biggest customer basically owns half of it?
Right.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. From industry shakeups to OpenAI, they seem to be constantly expanding. First up, their latest model, they've rolled out GPT-o3 Pro to all ChatGPT Pro users. That's the $200 a month plan. Gives you access to their most powerful model yet. Apparently, it's really optimized for complex stuff like math and coding, and it still has access to web search, Python, image analysis, generation, all that. The catch seems to be it's a bit slower. They're prioritizing depth and quality over just pure speed.
Yeah, and that incremental progress, especially in math and coding, it points to AI getting steadily better at handling really complex problem solving. They also announced a delay for their open weight model. That's the version where they make the underlying code public,
Yeah.
for the community. Sam Altman, the CEO, he basically said they need more time to make sure it's exceptionally good. So lots of anticipation building there. And speaking of OpenAI, there's all this buzz about new hardware, right? A rumored device, screen-free, pocket-sized, contextually aware, cameras, microphones, the works. Sort of like an ambient AI assistant, always on, but you don't need to interact with the screen. Maybe it looks like an old iPod Shuffle or something, a pendant.
Well, Brad Lightcap, their COO, he's talked a lot about AI needing to move beyond just apps on screens, ambient computing that understands social context. But, making AI hardware work is really tough. We saw that with Meta's glasses and the Humane AI pin, kind of mixed results there. So is OpenAI's approach really different? I mean, what makes them think they can succeed where others have, well, struggled?
It really comes down to whether people will actually embrace an AI that's always listening and watching, even if it's supposed to be private. That's a really good point. The privacy angle is huge. Looking further ahead, Kevin Whale at OpenAI mentioned GPT-5. He said the goal is to simplify things. Right now, there are just, quote, too many models, GPT-3 Pro, Mini, 4.1. So GPT-5 is meant to be that single, versatile AI you use for pretty much everything: writing, coding, whatever. It figures out how complex your question is and responds.
And Sam Altman's vision, he calls it the perfect AI. Tiny, but with superhuman reasoning, massive context window, access to every tool. It wouldn't store everything, but it would be amazing at searching, simulating, solving problems on the fly. That's a huge leap towards AGI, artificial general intelligence, right?
Yeah.
An AI that can adapt and reason across all sorts of different areas. It's moving beyond just specialized tools.
Okay, switching gears again, Apple. Their big developers conference, WWDC 2025, maybe not an AI extravaganza as some expected, but they definitely focused on embedding AI deeper into their ecosystem, iPhones, iPads, Macs, Vision Pro, and a big emphasis on privacy, doing a lot of the processing right on the device itself. These features are mostly coming in the new 26 OS versions.
Yeah, and some really practical AI features came out of it. Live translation, for instance. It allows real-time chat, FaceTime, even phone calls between different languages, and it all happens on the device, keeping conversations private. Incoming messages get translated automatically, FaceTime shows translated transcriptions, calls get on-screen translations. It's pretty big for global communication.
They also showed off some neat visual intelligence stuff like blending image concepts creatively or recognizing an object in a photo, say a lamp, and letting you search for similar ones on Etsy right away. Even figuring out calendar events from posters and photos, just making AI useful in everyday ways really seamlessly.
And their focus on privacy and speed also shows in opening up those on-device AI models to developers. That's what, 30 million developers? Apple's calling it a modernized App Store moment. It lets app makers build smart features that don't need the cloud, which means faster responses and better data security. Plus, the Shortcuts app gets AI functions, like transcribing audio or finding key points in lectures. And for Vision Pro users, Vision OS 26 adds persistent widgets, things that stay put in your physical space, enhancing that whole spatial computing idea.
Right, but here's where it gets interesting, maybe controversial.
Yeah.
Apple put out a research paper doubting if LLMs, large language models like GPT actually reason. They argue it's more like super advanced pattern matching, not real thinking. They did something similar last year with math problems, suggesting it was just memorization. And this kicked off a big debate online, people saying AI is just an algorithm, it's fake.
Well, it's important to keep a balanced view. The human brain is incredibly complex, so caution about claiming AI truly reasons makes sense. Apple has a point there. But critics also point to Apple's own AI strategy being a bit inconsistent. Siri still struggles, right? And Craig Federighi, their software lead, even admitted at WWDC something like, no one is doing on-device AI well right now, not even Apple. So benchmarks like the Tower of Hanoi puzzle Apple used, maybe they don't show the full picture. For most people, it's about practical use. Can it do the job? Look at Google's Gemini 0605 model, for example. It hit 62% on Simple Bench, which tests common sense and physics understanding. That's getting close to human levels for those kinds of tasks. It suggests AI is improving in useful reasoning, even if it doesn't think like us.
Okay, let's dive into the generative AI world now. Mistral made a big splash with their Mistral model. 2 versions. Mistral Small, which is open source, 24 billion parameters. That's impressive for something that can run on like a regular consumer computer. And then the bigger one, Mistral Medium, scoring really well on the Amy 2024 benchmark, 73.6%, even 90% with majority voting. But the really eye-catching thing is the speed. Mistral says it's 10 times faster than competitors.
Yeah, that speed plus its ability to do multilingual chain of thought reasoning, it could honestly be transformative for AI applications in research. Think about how it could speed up workflows, enable real-time interactions, especially for AI generalists or specialists trying new things, faster prototyping, real-time education tools, lots of potential there.
And voice synthesis is getting incredibly realistic. 11 Labs showed off their V3 Alpha model, super expressive, emotional, whispers, Shakespeare, even laughter. Although some of the laughter apparently still sounds a bit uncanny. Meanwhile, OpenAI's upgraded voice mode now has realistic ums, stutters, pauses. It sounds remarkably human.
It really does. Almost makes you wary of answering unknown calls, doesn't it? Which brings up an interesting question. Do people want AI voices to be that human-like? Or is it maybe a bit unsettling? Maybe some prefer a voice that's clearly AI. Either way, it shows we're entering an era where AI voices can be tailored for specific emotional effects in conversations. And on a different note, Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro got a major upgrade. It's solidifying its place as a top AI for coding and problem solving. Its ELO rating went up on the Alan Marina benchmark. ELO is that skill rating system from games, making it a top contender there, even handling complex coding like Rubik's Cube algorithms.
Video AI is moving incredibly fast, too. Google has VEO3 Fast, their text-to-video model, which is cheaper and faster now. Meta launched AI video editing, apply preset styles, change outfits, locations, lighting in videos. And Midjourney, famous for images, looks like they're gearing up for video too. They had a video rating party for subscribers to help train their upcoming video model.
And beyond those big names, there's a whole wave of specialized creative AI tools popping up, like the Dia browser, an AI-native browser where you can chat with your tabs. That sounds interesting. For images, FLU X-Take1 Context Max is getting top marks, apparently rivaling Google Imagen 4, and an open-source version is coming. Leonardo AI added support for Google's V3 video and released lucid realism for super realistic images.
Yeah.
And AnyTuboka AI lets you add professional-looking blur effects to videos, simulating that cinematic depth of field. Really useful stuff for creators.
But the really mind-blowing stuff might be the real-time video generation. Seaweed APT-2, generating full HD video at 24 frames per second in real time on a single GPU. You can make videos up to a minute long and interact with them, almost like a game. That's wild. Usually that takes massive compute power. Making it work on one high-end graphics card means it's getting way more efficient, more accessible. And then there's Player One Egocentric World Simulator, creating first-person videos that react to your movements.
Yeah, these are huge steps forward for things like virtual avatars, VR, gaming, interactive stories. We're moving beyond just passively watching content. Oh, and also the Seed VR2 upscaler open source AI that sharpens low-quality videos up to 1080p, much faster than before. But, with all this rapid progress comes friction, legal friction specifically. Midjourney is now facing copyright lawsuits from Disney and Universal. They claim Midjourney infringed their IP by generating images of their characters. That really opens up big questions about intellectual property, fair use, AI training data legality. It's a messy area, especially when you see things like AI-generated stormtrooper vlogs getting popular despite these legal gray zones.
Right. Okay, let's broaden the lens now to AI's wider impact, starting with jobs and the societal side of things. Dario Amodei, Anthropic's CEO, gave a pretty stark warning about white-collar jobs. He predicts entry-level roles in finance, consulting, tech could be first augmented, then maybe replaced by AI within, 1 to 5 years. He even floated ideas like taxing AI firms for social safety nets, though not many AI CEOs are jumping on that bandwagon, and governments seem hesitant about UBI.
What that really suggests is the traditional career ladder for white-collar work. It's not just changing, it's potentially being dismantled at the entry point. It's not just about job losses, it's a fundamental shift in how value gets created and captured in the economy. We're going to need completely new educational approaches, new safety nets, and probably faster than we've ever adapted before. It's a huge conversation about productivity gains versus, equitable distribution. And in robotics, we saw leadership changes at Tesla Robotics, and Helix showed off a new logistics robot that can work uninterrupted for an hour, understands vision and language.
And that drone racing event. An AI-piloted drone beat the world's best human pilots in Abu Dhabi, A2RL Championship. Hit nearly 96 kilometers using just one camera and sensor. That's incredible.
It really is, and it connects to that bigger trend. AI moving beyond just digital tasks into controlling things in the physical world in real-time, complex control. But that leap, amazing as it is, immediately raises ethical flags, doesn't it? Especially around autonomous weapons, military AI. That needs urgent global discussion. Beyond the physical stuff, DeepMind's weather lab is doing amazing work predicting cyclones up to 15 days out, much earlier than current methods. Big implications for disaster prep. And more day-to-day, Microsoft's Copilot Vision for Windows looks useful. An AI assistant that sees your screen and gives step-by-step help in complex software like Blender.
Yeah, these practical uses show how AI is increasingly tackling real challenges and improving how we interact with tech. And finally, there's the social dynamic, people forming real emotional bonds with AI companions. Sort of like that movie, Her.
It's fascinating. AI can offer companionship, sure, but does relying on AI relationships maybe reduce our drive for real human connection, which takes effort, emotional work? It's an important question to consider as we see companies like Meta push hard for AI leadership. They're reportedly offering 9-figure salaries to get top researchers for their superintelligence team. The talent race is intense.
Wow, what a packed 10 days. It really feels like a whirlwind. From Meta's huge strategic play, the leaps in generative AI, Apple's practical private approach to AI predicting weather, winning drone races, it's integrating into our lives incredibly fast. So what's the takeaway for you, the listener?
Well, it just highlights how crucial it is to stay informed, stay adaptable in this space. It's moving so quickly.
Absolutely, and just knowing isn't enough, right? It's about understanding and applying that knowledge. Critical thinking, like we've talked about, is key when you're flooded with information. And that's really where University 365's mission comes in, equipping learners like you to become AI generalists, but also superhuman experts. We use cutting-edge AI education, but also neuroscience-based teaching methods, holistic life management. It's the whole approach, the insights from this OwO AI deep dive. They're exactly the kind of thing University 365 helps you stay ahead of, fostering that entrepreneurial mindset you need for what's coming.
So if you found this deep dive valuable, we definitely encourage you to explore University 365 further. You can subscribe, become a member, get more publications like OwO AI, access other deep dives in our discussions to learn, or D2L series. Plus, you get tools like Copilot, the University 365 AI agent for questions and checks, and our 5 minutes to success microlearning. So our final thought for you to chew on: in this AI-transformed world, continuous learning, being agile, they aren't just buzzwords. They're truly the key to staying relevant and thriving. We'll catch you next time for another OwO AI deep dive from University 365.